Hey. You know what it is. Urban Politics in the building. It is 2021. I'm coming at you. New year, new show, same background for right now anyway. You know what I'm saying? That right there is keep the party going. That's what we're going to do in 2021. We keep the party going. It never stops. You know what I'm saying? But enough of that right now. That's some hardcore hip hop. We all love it. I love it. You love it. I scream. We scream. We all scream for hardcore hip hop. But that ain't what you're here for right now. Right now, we're here to talk a little hip hop. Before I do that though, let me just talk about. Let me get real personal with you real quick. I've been working for a long time. I've probably been working since I was 12, 13 years old. I love what I do for a living, believe it or not. If I couldn't be doing this right here for a living, I strive to do that. So please subscribe, like, and subscribe. But if I couldn't do this for a living, I'd love to do what I do for a living. I work with kids. I work with disabled kids. I have for 20 plus years. I love that. But I, like you, sometimes I get sick of the rigmarole of just going to a job. Just going somewhere to make money for somebody else. Sometimes you get tired. And I'm a little older these days. Sometimes my bones ache. And I don't necessarily feel like getting up at the butt crack of dawn to drink some coffee and then get my mind right so I can go somewhere else and make somebody else a ton of money. Even though I love my job. So there's that. So things I use to get me through the week. Something you can use too. Now, you have to frame the week right? There's 5 days in a week, and then you have the weekend, which is your Saturday and your Sunday. Lord knows that Sunday is family fun day. So on a Sunday, hopefully you're not working. You're somewhere having fun with your family, going to church with your family, doing something with your family on a Sunday. So there's that. But then you got to break down the rest of this work week. Here's how I break it down. Mondays. Nobody likes Mondays. They just don't. Nobody likes Mondays. I used to work with a guy, brother, his name was Mr. White, and he told me we used to have conversations about that. Nobody likes Mondays. He used to tell me all the time, Ed, nobody likes Mondays. Nobody likes Mondays. So Monday is Monday. Tuesday, keep it real. Tuesday ain't nothing but Monday part 2. Monday part 2. That's all it is. Tuesday is just another Monday. Wednesday, now we're doing something. Wednesday, you're getting over that hump. You know, and the camel on the Geico commercial told us, oh, what is Wednesday? Hump day! It's hump day. So Wednesday is something to be excited about. You're halfway through the week. You're getting over the hump. Thursday is Friday Eve. It's the eve of Friday, which is the weekend. You know, that's what Friday is. Friday starts the weekend. Because on Friday when you get to work, what can anybody talk about is the weekend. And how they want to get started to on the weekend, and how they want to wrap up things on a Friday to get started and get to an early weekend. So there it is. So Monday is Monday, Tuesday is Monday part 2, Wednesday we're getting over the hump with hump day, Thursday is Friday Eve, and then Friday starts your weekend, baby. And there it is. And everybody knows the weekend is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Because I know, back in my clubbing days, we went out Friday night, Saturday night, and like idiots Sunday night. You gotta get up on Monday morning, so that's not too smart. But we used to do that too. But anyway, there's that. So that's the way you can frame your week to get through it. That's how I get through it. So tomorrow will be Monday. We'll get past it. Then on to Monday part 2, the hump. Thursday, Friday Eve, and then Friday we're back into the weekend, baby. So there it is. Let's go ahead and get into it like a car and drive. Let's talk some politics. Number one, I wanted to warn you about something. There's a little station out there by the name of Newsmax. The CEO of Newsmax is a gentleman by the name of Chris Ruddy. And this guy has no problem selling dreams that Trump could still win the election. You heard me. That's crazy, isn't it? Trump could still win the election. This thing been over. It is over. Even though come January 5th or 6th, I think January 5th, something like that, there's some stuff that Mike Pence needs to do. We'll talk about that later on in the show. And they still want to try and get something in there, but it could never happen. Like I said, we'll talk about it. So basically, they're dead in the water. Everybody knows it. But he's still selling this dream because there's a lot of trumpeters. There's a lot of people who are sold. They're living and dying on Trump's name or whatever, and they just want it to be so true. They want there to just be some way that we can overturn this thing, and some way they and Trump's will can be done, and he'll get another term and another 4 years to totally take this country down the toilet. It's not going to happen. So there's that. But this guy, Chris Redd, he doesn't mind selling that dream. He knows it's a dream. He's went on record as saying that. He's went on record as saying that it's good ratings. Whether it's, you know, the news they're reporting, which you could say is news or not. He said whether it's good news or bad news, whether it's true, whether it's false, it's good ratings. People are watching it. It makes money. And I'm like, wow. That's why I said this is even worse than Fox News. Because Fox News, they have lost a couple of court cases. And just had to keep it real in a couple of court cases about how they're not real news and how none of them are real journalists. And anybody who thinks that they're real news or real journalists is obviously not too intelligent. They said this, not me. So it is what it is. They went on record as saying such. Excuse me. They went on record as saying as much that they're not real news and they're not real journalists. So that is what it is. But I mean, this guy, like I said, he takes it a step further to just let you know outright, this stuff is good ratings, it's good TV, I'm putting it out there. There's people who are eating it up, they're giving us money, they want to believe this dream, they want to keep it going. Let's keep this fever dream going. And that's not cool because he's playing with people's emotions. But it is what it is because it's all in the name of making money. Welcome to America. It's a capitalist society. You're always going to have people in the interest of making money. They're going to do whatever's clever. So that's what he's doing. And that's why I said, watch out for that. You know, Newsmax, worse than ONN, worse than Fox News. And ONN is pretty bad. Fox News is pretty horrible. Newsmax, worse than both of them put together. So be on the lookout for that in 2021. They're coming up and they're coming up strong. Moving on, let's talk about how the president left his New Year's Eve party early, went back to Washington. They say that he has been singularly focused on disrupting the vice president's certification of the elector ballots January 6th. I was talking about this in the earlier story. January 6th, I guess Mike Pence is due to certify the electorates. The vice president always does it. They said it's a formality. It's usually not a big deal. It usually doesn't get any attention at all. Of course, now since politics is the order of the day, everybody's into it. Thanks to Facebook, thanks to Twitter, thanks to TikTok. Thank you, TikTok. I love TikTok. I went on record as saying as much. That's my favorite of the social medias. Anyway, thanks to all of that stuff, it's really gotten people into this thing called politics. A guy like me, I love it and I hate it. I love it and I hate it because politics is one of them things you really have to do your research. Everybody's into politics. Most people aren't into doing research, so you get a lot of lame brain ideas coming at you. But I love the discourse, and I love the fact that we're able to talk right now, and I love the fact that everybody wants to talk politics. So that's a cool thing or whatever. But it is what it is. So he's supposed to do that January 6th. It should just be a formality. Louis Gohmert has a lawsuit against Pence, and he wants him to throw out some of these electoral votes. He wants him to just not certify certain votes. Certain votes from certain states, he wants him to just simply not certify. I don't even think he can legally do that. I think in the Constitution, his role is merely ceremonial. And I don't think there's anything like that. I don't think that he can just decide to not certify some votes. I don't think he can do that legally. And they said, saying Pence, Lord knows he's up Trump's butt pretty tough. I mean, here's a guy who has dissed Pence's wife. He's talked stuff about Pence all the time. What did he say? Talking about how Pence wanted to kill all the gays and all this other stuff. He's always talking stuff about him for being extra conservative and hating, the LGBTQ community. So, but he's always, Pence always comes to the president's aid. He always has his back. He's way up his butt. He's just a straight up brown noser. He's scared of him. So, they were saying though, but with all that though, Pence is still a patriot. And they can't see him going against the Constitution and not certifying some votes just because the president doesn't want him to. Disenfranchising millions of Americans just because the president wanted him to. That's just so undemocratic, so that's probably not something that Pence is going to do, going against the Constitution like that. We'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? January 6th is right around the corner, so we'll see what happens. Watch this space. I will be watching myself too. I'll be reporting from this space. So there's that. So Louis Gohmert wants him to do that. It's not gonna happen. He was actually trying to bring some legislation against Pence, making it to where Pence couldn't certify some of these votes coming from these different states. He got thrown out. Judge was like, that's ridiculous. You have no grounds to be doing that. This is one of the safest elections on record. Cut the games. I'm paraphrasing, but basically it got thrown out. So it's just not going to happen. So we'll see what happens January 6th. There's a attorney by the name of Lynn Wood, that's Donald Trump's lawyer, says that Mike Pence should be arrested for treason. That's how crazy these people are. This is how crazy they are. Trump has been pushing this voter fraud garbage forever. So then you got people like Lynn Wood, who is his attorney in the matter, knowing, he's got to know, he knows, he's a lawyer, there's no basis for this. They already said this was the safest election in history. Let it go. But he knows there's people involved in this. You know, he wants to garner some good favor with the president, so he keeps this thing going or whatever. And that's what he does. You know, and he has the audacity to actually come at Pence and say that Pence should be arrested for what? Doing his job. This is a part of his job. Like I said, his role is purely ceremonial anyway. There's really nothing he can do. So what's this guy want him to do? Something he can't do? Of course. That's what he wants, because he wants something to happen that ain't gonna happen. Overturning the election and disenfranchising millions of Americans for no reason. So there's that. Lynn Wood is a buffoon and an idiot. He's on that. He claims that Pence is involved in theft of the election. What? Pence? Like I just said, here's a guy who's been so far up Trump's butt. So there's no way that he would steal the election for Joe Biden. He might have stole it for Trump, but he wouldn't steal it for Joe Biden. And he's an extreme conservative, always has been. So nobody in their right mind would think that he would do anything to help the Democratic Party. So the fact that this guy Lynn Wood would go there and say that is also extremely laughable. People were saying that Mr. Wood, this attorney, should be arrested for threatening the vice president, because it is a federal offense. And what he said specifically is that the vice president should be executed by firing squad. What? That is redonkulous. Think about that. That is a Republican lawyer saying that the Republican vice president should be executed by firing squad because he won't disenfranchise votes. Sad. I've seen the Republican Party pull all types of tricks. I've never seen nothing like this. This is crazy. And this is not just the cult of personality. This is the cult of Trump. So something's got to give. So it is what it is. And then, like I said, we'll see what Pence does. Is he more of a patriot, or is he a spineless jellyfish? Did a crack under Trump's pressure? We'll see. He is a spineless jellyfish, because I mean, he didn't let Trump talk smack about him, smack about his wife, all of that, and still all up the man's butt. But we'll see. I think at the end of the day, Pence might be a real life patriot, or at least view himself that way. So, you know, he'll probably do the right thing here. We'll see. Moving on, Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi, their houses were vandalized after Senate went on vacation with no $2,000 increase. They went in and passed a $600 increase. And I think that's $600 for, $600 for the adult in the home and $600 for the child in the home. They went in and passed that, but then, you know what I'm saying, they didn't pass the $2,000 increase. Both homes were spray painted. One was spray painted in red, white, and blue. Nancy Pelosi's house had a pig's head on the sidewalk. Whoa! Her house in, I think, San Diego, California, they said there was like a pig's head on the sidewalk. People were pissed. People are pissed. Yeah, they said their house was spray painted red, white, and blue. They had said there was, well, I actually saw that in the picture. I think it was on Pelosi's house, where there was a spray paint that said, "Where's my money?" You know, in white spray paint. And, you know, Mitch McConnell called it a radical tantrum taken from a toxic playbook. That was an interesting quote when I read it, because you got to think of what's going on here. What we have here is Americans, some of whom have not worked since October. I was watching a news special yesterday. This lady said she had not worked since October, November, December, January. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. That's 4 months this woman hasn't worked. So how has she paid her mortgage? She hasn't. How has she paid her rent? She hasn't. How are you eating? We got some food banks. We got some lunch lines you can stand in. People are hurting right now. And Mitch McConnell has the audacity to say that it's a radical tantrum taken from a toxic playbook. Wow. And all I can think when I read that is how convenient, Mitch. Mitch, once again, he just being a little Mitch, ain't he? And you already know that I refer to him as the word that rhymes with Mitch and begins with a B. This is a family show. I won't use it right here. But that is the reason why I give this guy that moniker. Because he does stuff like this. How can you make all that money? This guy makes millions. And if you don't believe me, Google it. Google it. This guy makes millions of dollars. He's got a lot of money. That house that they vandalized was just one house. Same with Miss Pelosi. You know what I'm saying? Please don't let her evade any of my criticism either. Them Democrats, they ain't no good sometimes either. And she got a couple of other houses too. I would bet neither of them were at either of these houses when this happened, because they got other places they can be. But you got Americans who got no other place they can be. Now they can't even be where they live because the moratorium on mortgages has ran out. The moratorium on rents has ran out. So what they supposed to do, Mitch? But in your eyes, this is, let me please quote it again, this is a radical tantrum taken from a toxic playbook. What you know about a toxic playbook? Let me go all the way back. A radical tantrum. So are you insinuating that the American people are children? Is that what you saying this is? A radical tantrum? These are just kids acting a fool because they can't get what they want? No, Mitch. No. These are kids acting a fool because they haven't eaten in months. Months. Some of these people haven't eaten in months. And when I say eating, I'm saying it in the figures of they haven't worked in months. They haven't gotten paid in months. They couldn't take care of their family in months. 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 They've been sitting at home because of a virus that your standard bearer let loose on this American populace. And you can't even see fit to give them $2,000, which ain't nothing. When you look and see what some of these other countries have done for their people, America should be ashamed. I went on record as saying as such on this show. This American exceptionalism, I don't know what they talk. Where's it at? They need to show it to me. They need to show it to me. Our president got the nerve to talk about some African nations and call them ish-hole countries. We are the ish-hole country. Because capitalism is reigning supreme here, and let me tell you, there's them that have, and them that do not have don't have anything. You're not doing it big, okay? When the poor people where you're come from don't have anything, when we got people living on the street and living in boxes and not able to pay their rent and not able to sustain themselves and feed their families, we're not doing it big. I don't want to hear about this American exceptionalism. We haven't been number one in anything in a long time. So this whole thing is it's sad, and that is the reason you have these homes getting vandalized. Another reason you have these homes getting vandalized is because politics is popularized right now. Everybody's watching. I'm gonna tell you, I've gotten into politics. I've talked about it on the show. I've gotten into politics since I was 10, 11 years old. I can remember being younger and stuff would go on with Bill Clinton and George Bush Sr., George Bush Jr., other presidents. And, you know, I would watch it and talk to friends about it, and they could care less. And nobody cared about politics. Nobody, because it's usually boring. Because most of our presidents, they weren't great guys. They weren't good guys. They did stuff that was shocking. But most of them adhered, you know, to the regular framing of a president. They were what a president is: respectful, well-spoken, the appropriate tone, using the appropriate terminology, being well-spoken somewhat, you know, at least trying to look like they knew what they were doing. So there's that. But then along comes a guy who is a reality show president, and boy, he got everybody looking because he was just so off the rails and so inept and so ridiculous and such a moron and such a carnival barker and so silly and so stupid. So there's that. And like I said, a guy like me who gets into politics, I actually kind of dig that because I like the fact that everybody wants to talk politics. That's good and that's bad because you get a whole lot of uninformed opinions, because in America, everybody wants to talk, but nobody wants to research anything or look anything up or learn anything. They just want to talk. And they like to listen too. They're just, kind of listening to you because they're waiting to talk, waiting for their turn to jump in, but they're not listening to what you're saying. So that is what it is. But, you know what I'm saying? I digress. With that said, that is the reason, though, you have people vandalizing your homes. Vandalizing the home of Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi. So it is what it is. I don't think it's a radical tantrum taken from a toxic playbook. You know what it is? This is the crying out of the people, man. This is the crying out of the people. Because, like I said, I'm blessed to be in a situation to the industry that I work in. I'm an essential worker. I've been working this whole time. So everything I've ever done, I've still been doing, paying bills, all that good stuff. Still been able to do that. But I know people, I have friends who are in some of these industries that have went under. Some of these industries that are never coming back due to COVID, and they are hurt right now. Okay? This lady on this this news special I was watching the other night, she hasn't worked since October. That's ridiculous. What do you do if you haven't worked since October? I guarantee that you're feeling it. I guarantee you're feeling it. And like I said, even though you've had a whole lot of landlords who have been real understanding as of late or whatever, that's running out. That understanding is about to go the way of the dodo. Because at the end of the day, it's like Jay-Z, F you pay me. Everybody wants their money. So in a minute here, people going to have to pay their rent. People going to have to pay their mortgage. And what they going to do? And the government ain't even got your back. So it is what it is. Let me go ahead and move on. But that's sad. And Mitch McConnell, his only answer to this thing after that was going to say that they'll come together on Tuesday and they'll discuss maybe that increase or some other things. But that's sad too, because you've heard them use the term poison pills. So they're going to add a bunch of that stuff to it too. So I guess Mitch McConnell's thing is, oh yeah, if I'm going to give Americans a check for $2,000, then you're going to also have to put in there that we have protection for, I think, what was he saying? Some of these social media companies who want protection to not get sued because of blah, 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 woof, woof, I don't know. Some other crap. They always want to throw something in there to shield big business from getting lawsuits that they deserve because they put people in harm's way. What was the other thing they wanted to put in there? Or I think we're going to talk about it here in a minute. Yeah, I got it down here. Well, I'll let you in on a little bit now. But they're talking about how they wanted to, or Mitch McConnell, that was his thing. He wanted a lot of companies to be in the position where they could not be sued, or can't be sued. That was, I think, that last stimulus that we got. That was one of the stipulations of that he put something in there to where businesses couldn't be sued. So if you go back to your business and you end up catching COVID because they made you come in, they made you work, you will have no recourse. You can't go back and sue them for that. Of course, Mitch McConnell holding out for that. Why? Always looking out for big business, because those are the ones who line his pockets. Those are the ones who pay for his campaigns and donate to his campaigns and all that garbage. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about something sad. COVID news. Whoo-wee. I was watching a news article. Was I watching a news article? I think I was reading a news article, watching the news, and they were saying we're at 350,000 deaths right now. Probably a little higher than that. I think that was earlier today that I saw that number. That's sad. That's scary. Yeah, we're at 350,000 deaths in America from COVID. Drug companies like Pfizer and Moderna have blanket immunity. They cannot be sued for sickness or death or loss from damages. It's rare, only given in dire situations. This is what I was talking about earlier. And they were saying that this isn't given out often and it's given out in rare situations, but that's what's going on right now. Pfizer, Moderna, they've come up with these vaccines. The vaccine has been, proven or whatever to be okay. People are taking it. But if there are any side effects or anything like that, you have no recourse. There's nothing you can do about that. Oh well. And I mean, that just is what it is. A lot of people would be like, that shouldn't deter you from taking it. I guess if you need it, that shouldn't deter you from taking it, because I guess that's the way that they're protecting themselves. I don't think Pfizer or Moderna, these cats who make billions of dollars, need that type of protection. Because at the end of the day, I bet they have insurance that would pay for anybody who would bring up a lawsuit against them anyway. But the fact that Mitch McConnell would take more interest in that than he would in just your average American family that's hurt right now, can't feed themselves right now, can't pay their bills right now, that's sad. So that is what it is. You can think about it, you can't sue for sickness, death, or loss of damages. You can't sue for anything, basically. You got to sign a waiver. Now, a lot of times when you go to the hospital and you get certain surgeries, they make you sign a waiver. Why? Because things could go wrong. So there's the thing with that. The fact that you can't sue or anything, if things go wrong, let you know things could go wrong. People say there's a chance of everything. When you walk outside the door, you take a chance. Anything could have, satellite could fall from the sky and bust you in the head and kill you. I hear that. But I still don't like that. I don't like how they got this virus, but they make sure to put it in there to where, nah, you can't sue us if anything go wrong, because something could go wrong. We didn't really have time to test this thing. We're just trying to get it out as soon as possible because people are sick of sitting in their house and not being able to get their hair done. Anyway, moving on. So that's what's up with that. They were saying this law is viewed as friendly to big business, not to the American people. It is friendly to big business. It is not friendly to the American people. That is the reason they're doing this. That is the reason why Mitch McConnell has such a vested interest in making sure that big business is covered and protected before he gives me and you and any other American person a penny of their own money. This is taxpayer money. This is not his money. This is money that you've already given to the government. So this is your money that Mitch won't give you back. So there's that. And he's doing it because he wants to shield big business, because those people give him a lot of money for his campaigns. So there's that. Let's move on. I don't want to get any more upset about that. There's a government fund to help with lost wages that you get, that some people have gotten from Corona, but lawyers say that it's hard to access and it rarely pays, and only 6% of the claims were granted in 10 years. That's sad. So in 10 years of different people having claims of saying how the coronavirus took away from their money, took away from their profits, took away from their livelihood, trying to get some of that money back from the government, there's a fund that will give you that back, but it's extremely hard to get that money. So there's that. And of course, that's how it is. Government bureaucracy, it's extremely hard to get anything that the government owes you back, including taxes. So there's that. Moving on. They were saying that a lot of vaccines are in danger of expiring before they can even be given out. The rollout has been bad due to bad weather, 2 major holidays. The Fed left distribution up to the states. Why would they do that? I swear, you know what? Because the administration is bootleg and ghetto. Why would you do that? We're going to leave distribution up to the states. Well, they know the distribution takes money. And if you ain't got no money, you can't do no distribution. A lot of these states ain't got no money. COVID has ravaged them. They got nothing. So, of course, Trump and them is going to just leave them holding the bag. Oh, yeah, here's a whole bunch of vaccine. Boom. Y'all figure out how you're going to get it out to your people. They don't have the money to do it. And it takes money because there's a whole lot of steps before you can get these vaccines to people. You can't just have anybody sticking people with syringes. You got to have, like, professionals. They have to be paid. So there's all types of, logistics that goes into it. So, you know what I'm saying? The fact that they would just leave it to the states and not give them any support, being the federal government, that's garbage. That's bootleg. Moving on. I want to talk about, because I got to wrap it up. I'm looking here. I'm running out of time. As usual. Let me go yeah, you know what? Let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and do this last point right here, and then we're going to go ahead and be done with it. I want to talk about catchphrases. Political catchphrases, campaign slogans. What is a campaign slogan that you've heard, everybody's heard? Make America Great Again. That was Trump's slogan in 2016. His new slogan is Make America Great Again. I'm not making that up. Look that up. That's hilarious. Make America Great Again. Which implies that he didn't make America great the first time, so now he's making it great again. Anyway, Joe Biden's, campaign slogan or catchphrase is build back better. Build back better. Say that 3 times fast. Build back better. Build back better. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Build back better. Why? It's 3 B's. It's easy. It's hard hitting. Build back better. We want to build America. We want to build it back, and we want to build it better. I like that. That's a good catchphrase right there. Hillary Rodham Clinton, her thing was, I'm with her. I'm with her. I don't know. That's okay. I'm with her. I mean, I was with her. I voted for her. We see how that turned out. We all know how that went. But that was her slogan. That was her political catchphrase. I'm with her. That's okay. Build back better. I think that's a little more build back better. That hits harder. Make America great again. That's sad and pathetic. I don't like that. I think even a Trump supporter would be like, what? Because that's implying that. But then again, a lot of them probably wouldn't get, you know what I'm saying, the incongruency in that state. Make America great again. Build back better. I like that. Build back better. I'm with her. Nah, thank God. That's 2016. So we ain't got to worry about that. All right. So that's something to think about. These political slogans and political catchphrases. What works, what doesn't. Barack Obama, the audacity of hope. Hope you can believe in. Change you can believe in. He had some good ones. He had some good stuff. And he was saying some of this stuff he thought was corny. And then they ran it past Michelle. She was like, nah, it ain't corny. Roll with that. And he's like, if Michelle say it ain't corny, then of course it ain't corny. Roll with that. So... yeah, that was amazing. I'm all out of time. Guess what? I am your host, Phys Ed Music. This has been Urban Politics, and this is 2021. This is how we're going to be doing. We're going to be keeping the party going. I'm going to try and get some guests here on the show. We'll mix it up some more. I want to thank everybody who's been out there checking out the show, hitting me up, coming with that pushback. If you got pushback, you can always hit me up at PHIZZEDMUSICK. No, PHIZZEDMUSIC@gmail.com. That's physedmusic@gmail.com. Hit me up. Hit me with that pushback. As always, this is Urban Politics, where politics lives, eats, sleeps, breathes, irons its clothes. See you around like a donut.